Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. Today, we've got three brand new great decks for you. Make sure you watch that third deck. It is completely unique and completely wild. The first two decks are from the number 1 and number 5 player in the whole world. We're going to get started quickly, but I'd like to remind you, keep watching. We have a giveaway in today's video. We're giving away a bundle. If you prefer a season pass, please feel free. But we're giving away a bundle later on this video in honor of hitting 6,000 subs. We're trying to climb even higher. We hit 6,000 subs on Friday's video. Now we're looking to go to 7,000, 10,000. Let's just see how high we can get. In addition, for subbing, you get 3 brand new decks, bundle guides, shop guides, pro tips, everything you could possibly need to complete your Marvel Snap journey, whether that means more fun with the game, better cosmetics, hitting infinite, getting your infinity borders, whatever else, we bring that to you. We also do the biggest and most consistent giveaways in Marvel Snap, and it helps us out. Totally free to you to hit that sub button, help us grow. Cool. Deck credits and outlines, so we're going to begin with questions of the day. Then we've got Lambie showing off Gosh's deck. Gosh is a top 60, 70 player in Marvel Snap who finally tore Lambie off Loki. We've got a bundle guide with a 6,000 subs special giveaway. We are going over the second dinner bundle and the Festival of Lights bundle. We've got Evazord's deck. Then we've got an announced schedule change to what's coming out in Marvel Snap, Juno True Trace's deck, and I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. You can find Juno on Twitch. And then we're going to look at my shop for both Friday and Saturday's resets. Let's go. First questions of the day. Umbreon Messiah asks if retreats are counted in deck stats on this channel. And yes, always. So the way everyone keeps stats in Marvel Snap, and for those of you who don't know, is people use a deck tracker. There are 3 major deck trackers in Marvel Snap. The most popular and commonly used one, the one with the most stats, if you're trying to look at stats of others, is Untapped, untapped.gg. The next most popular is Marvel Snap Zone, and the third most popular is SnapFan. They're all great. They all offer slightly different things depending on your journey. I strongly urge you to check all of them out. Obviously, I'm partial to the Marvel Snap Zone one since, I write there. I'm part of their podcast. But I'm not going to pretend I don't use the others for different things sometimes. But those keep track of the stats. No one's sitting there counting very few people are sitting there with spreadsheets counting their decks and cubes, counting their retreats. That's all done automatically, and yes, of course, retreats count. No one's trying to trick you with the stats that are presented in the thumbnails of this video. I tell you every single time I can what the play rate, what the sample size is for these, as long as I have that information. And generally, a smaller sample size means that the win and Q rate will come down. Absolutely. The reason I'm giving you these smaller sample size decks is one of the goals of the channel is to make sure that you can get these smaller sample size decks before the meta has adjusted to them, before people know what they're playing against, so that you can steal extra cubes with these decks while they're still a surprise. Cool. JL Schenkler asks if the season pass should go straight to Series 3 after, and the reasoning is that so they don't have to make it OP, so that they don't have to feel that they have to make it overpowered to get people to buy it, and to take away the pay-to-win feeling by just making it early access. No one would buy it then, right? Like it that decreases the value too much. There has to be a greater exclusivity. Maybe if it was like 3 months, something like that, I could see it, which is basically what it was to get to Series 4 before. I could see that. I think that what Second Dinner's model fundamentally is tell everyone who plays the game that you more or less have to buy the season pass. And like I think I'm ultimately okay with that. I understand if a lot of viewers aren't, sorry. But their fundamental model is if you buy the season pass and min-max, you can get everything with some patience and intelligent buying. So I think $10 a month for the amount of content this game gives is completely reasonable. Compare it to like a complete collection in Magic Arena or so on, where you'll get it faster but have to spend a lot more. I'm okay with that. That's not my problem with the game. The season pass card is not really the problem. Also, I don't think Second Dinner feels like they have to make them OP. I think they always want to make them good, but it's easy to look at Elsa and Loki and go, oh, they want to make these cards OP. One, no one knew Loki was going to be OP. They've all but admitted multiple times that they didn't think Loki was going to be nearly as good as he was. and neither did any content creator until we really started playing with them in the right shells. Elsa was OP, it was very predictable, but like whatever, they nerfed mid season. They didn't even wait till the end of her own season to nerf her. And excuse me. Ms. Marvel is very strong, but not OP. Dakin is a good card, but not a great one. Has a really good home and discard. Before that, Phoenix Force had to be buffed mid-season because it was so weak. They also buffed Ghost Spider the season before that. I think that like the season passes are not the problem in Marvel Snap at all. I think that it's one of the models that they should keep most consistent with where they are right now. I do expect them to do something to fix Series 3 because it takes like 6 months without serious spending to get through Series 3, which is just too damn long of not being able to compete at the highest levels of a game that you're playing. And in the process, I think they're going to figure out something with series drops. They also said they're going to make a series drop announcement soon. So I assume that those two things coincide. I think part of the reason we're not getting series drops, I think part of it's greed, right? Like I'm not discounting greed, but part of it's also that it takes so long to get through Series 3 that putting more cards into Series 3 just exacerbates a different problem. Like it solves a problem for one portion of the player base by making a greater hurdle for a different portion of the player base. So I think that's what they're going to fix, not the season passes, which are honestly, if it ain't broke, just leave it alone. Venom thinks prestige levels are coming next week, and that's how they're going to address Series 3. Hey Venom, how you doing? Venom's a really big supporter. We love Venom. We appreciate his support. Just for anyone who's missing it from the last roadmap in August, and we should get another roadmap either in December or January. But from the last roadmap presented to us in August, what was said about prestige levels? Ever wish that pixel variant avatar title received turned into an awesome reward? Yeah, us too. Prestige level introduces a new reward track when you acquire any new cosmetics. Variants, avatars, cardbacks, emotes, etc. Juice up your prestige enough to unlock brand new infinity splits and more. We'll keep building on prestige level into the future with albums that drip bonus prestige and exclusive thematic cosmetics. So I don't think they're going to try. Excuse me. I don't think they're going to tie prestige level to card acquisition growth. I don't think that's what's happening. I think it's much more likely to be a secondary collection track. And that secondary collection track will, every time you get a new variant that you, whether it be buying a variant or opening one, it will like boost your prestige level. Like each card that you get is going to be worth X. Like playing games gets you season XP, X prestige XP. So that's what that sounds like to me, which I think is really cool as long as it's retroactive. I assume it'll be retroactive. Otherwise, our friends like Super Tech God, who's on this week's Snapchat podcast, out now, by the way, who has every variant, could never raise their prestige level because he already has every variant. So how this works fundamentally is that I think that they sort of like set your prestige level based on what you have right now. And you just get like a massive unlock of a bunch of stuff, gives everyone that big like holiday season boost to their like the prettiness of their levels as you get whatever albums that trip bonus prestige and exclusive thematic cosmetics ends up meaning. So you get all that good stuff on that separate collection track. That's where I'm leaning with that. Do I think that's coming in the next week? I think that's a really good idea that comes right around the Christmas slash holiday season. As long as it comes out that season, then we have extra value. So I'm all for it. Let's keep going. Deck 1, Small Junk Package. This is a deck from Gosh. Gosh chills around the 60s and 70s and the global leaderboard, and Lambie swears by this deck. Basically, Lambie cannot be torn from Loki for months. All he's played is Loki. Excuse me, he thinks it's the best deck, it beats everything. Well, this is the deck that changed his mind, and it has some absolutely sick play patterns. Everyone knows at this point, Marvel Snap, the Shuri Taskmaster, Red Skull Taskmaster, Shuri Vision Taskmaster playline. This has that. This can also go something like Shuri with Hood out, Shuri Sentry Taskmaster, or Shuri Sentry Annihilus, and just throw that -13 to an opponent. Again, pretty solid. You can also go Shuri on 3, thanks to Psylocke, Taskmaster, Sentry on 4 for 20 on 4, Taskmaster on 5, into whatever on 6 at that point, honestly, right? Annihilus might be good. You might be dropping armor to protect something, so on and so forth. but there's a lot of options for play patterns, and this is an extremely, extremely strong deck. Not thrilled to see Shuri with yet another strong deck, but that's what is happening here. Just so you know, by the way, in the podcast next week, our subject is going to be card packages. Um, Shuri Red Skull Taskmaster is a card package. I think I'm starting to think Annihilus isn't a deck; it's a package. It's Annihilus, Hood, and Sentry as a 3 card package that you can just sort of like stick into any shell. Oh, not any shell, but like you can stick into a lot of different shells, whether it be the Darkhawk shell, the Lockdown shell, whatever else. And I think that the Shuri Red Skull shell is an extremely powerful home when you're clocking the opponent, right? Your opponent then like you want to your opponent wants a Shang-Chi on the right, let's say for example. They're also like, but they're dealing at once you annihilate over that whatchamacallit, that void, they're dealing with -10 there. So like they can remove your 20 power thing, but they're still sitting at -7. That only does so good. Keep going. This needs any, and it is otherwise all Series 3. So if you can make this deck, I strongly urge you to. This, I think, is the single best argument for an early series, for a, sorry, mid-Series 3 player who has access to these cards to get Annihilus, because you don't need many high series cards for it. So turn 1, Hood is better than 0. Generally speaking, you can go 0 into Ebony Maw, 1 and 2. Not your goal for the deck, though. Turn 2, Psylocke is your very best play if you have Shuri in hand. You can also Psylocke into Sentry just fine. Nothing wrong with it. If they use an early Shang on Sentry, you're not like really sad here, right? Like if you get a Shang out in turn 3, Sentry out in turn 3 and they Shang it, and then you're like, okay, Red Skull Taskmaster for 28 power each. It's just like womp womp. Okay. If you're not going to get the early Shuri or Sentry out, then Armor is better. And then if you need to, you can go the 0 Maw play. Turn 3, Shuri is your best play. If not, it's Sauron. And then the earlier plays, at that point, I prefer Armor over everything else. Turn 4, if Shuri, then if you played Shuri on 3, then Sentry, and if not, then you play Shuri on 4. Turn 5, if you played Sentry, now you're copying with Taskmaster. If not, if you played Shuri, then Sentry, Skull, or Vision are all fine. If you played Sentry on 4, feel free to toss that over with Annihilus on 5. And turn 6 is generally Annihilus or Taskmaster. That's the general gist. If you get the early Psylocke Shuri play or the early Sauron play, you snap and you steal their cubes. And there's nothing they can do about it. Let's take a quick variant look. I like this Maw and this Zero just fine. They are 2 of my later variants. They're very nice. Got the Peach Momoko Psylocke. I finished my Conquest stuff. We've got the Noir Hood. I love Noir variants. They're some of my favorite in the game. My favorite armor in the game. We've got a 3-hip deck. Not ideal, but not bad at all. Sauron. I got the Annihilus hip. You'll see that again later. And the Vision. Down with Red Skull. Screw Nazis. I hate that a Nazi is this good. I really wish they would just replace this with a random Hulk villain, but what are you going to do? I do like this Sentry a lot. This is my favorite Shuri, and I've got 2 good Taskmasters, but I decided to throw this one, and it felt like it went better with the vibe of the deck than the Lucha one for whatever reason. But this is a powerful deck, and you should play it, and you will win with it a lot because, jeez, just because, jeez, it's one of the more powerful things you can do. Okay, bundle review time. The first bundle is Second Dinner, and if I was Second Dinner, I wouldn't release super mediocre bundles with my company's name on it, because this is a very mediocre bundle. 2,000 gold for 3,000 credits, unless you're completely wailing out and must buy everything. Please do not get this. It's very mediocre. And there is the sugar and spice and everything nice bundle coming at the end of December. Save your gold for that if you can at all. If you're interested, on Marvel Snap Zone, I did a top 5 bundles to save for article. So please check that out if you're curious about how much you would need to save and what the best things to spend your gold and or cash are. But for now, this is an absolute no-go. You can see I did not buy it. I will not be buying this. It's a decent piece of art. I don't know why I care that Iceman has a giant ice cream cone, but here we are. I don't like it. I don't need it, and it's bad. It's not bad. It's super mediocre value in terms of progression. And we have a giveaway. Our giveaway is for this Bass bundle. It is $20. It was data mined as a $5 bundle with way less gold and way less credits. They upped it to 20 and gave us um, a bunch of gold and a bunch of credits. I asked Carolus about this. So the amount of gold and credits they're giving us here make this about a $35 value. 35 is a lot more than 20, right? So you're getting really, really great value here. Plus, this is an absolutely freaking gorgeous Bass variant. Bast is one of my favorite cards in Marvel Snap. The Festival of Lights bundle is now more expensive. I wish it was still $5, even though that was worth value, because I think there is value in having a lot of cheap bundles in Marvel Snap. But that's not where we are. It is 20 bucks, and for that 20 bucks, you get excellent value. If you're going to spend cash, this is a good way to spend it, unless you're trying to save up for the sugar and spice and everything nice bundle, at which point, buy the gold straight out, because there is the double gold thing in the shop. Cool. In addition, our 6,000 sub giveaway. Let's see how much higher we can go. Sub and comment on this video. Someone in the comments of this video on Wednesday's video, I'm going to let the comments percolate for 2 days. In Wednesday's video, we'll get this bundle for free. And if you don't have the season pass and you'd rather have a season pass than this bundle, cool, whatever. I'll buy you the season pass, whichever you want. Someone in the comments is getting a prize. All good? Let's keep it going. We've got Ava Junk Bounce as our second deck. Again, I told you this is just a package now. We've got a package of 3 junk cards that just go in decks that are good. In this case, we have the Hood Sentry Annihilus package. They are going with the Darkhawk package, which is Darkhawk, Korg, Zabu, in this case, also Black Widow, but Black Widow's traditionally not as important to the package. And the current bounce package, which is Werewolf, 1-drops, Beast, and Falcon. So this is a triple package deck. It is crushing. Eva is again the number 5 ranked player in the world right now, and this is the main deck he's playing. And it's got a 62% win rate, which that high in the world is completely freaking insane. Like, there's decks that have like higher win rates and smaller samples or similar samples. This is like a 60 game sample right now, I believe. There are decks that have higher win rates in this sample. Yesterday we had a 69% win rate deck from our friend Devilish over 100 games, which is obviously a bigger sample, right? But Devilish is playing in the thousands, like low thousands, and Eva's playing in the top 10. So like this is stupidly impressive. And if you can play this deck, you should try it. I have this built. I've been playing it. It's completely nuts. Sometimes you just sort of ignore Annihilus, and like last turn when they think you're gonna do some crap, they like rush to fill it, and you just beast away your stupid You spend your last turn beasting away the whatchamacallit. I can't think of it. The void. And you can just drop a decent sized card there, right? Like you just drop like a beast there, and if beast is the last thing, that werewolf's there, you've won that lane. And if you've got Zabu out, you can drop a Darkhawk in another lane. Or a or whatever, right? Like or a Shang in another lane and just blow their faces off. It's crazy strong. This deck is crazy, crazy strong. It has a lot of plays. All I'm playing lately is bounce. Like I've got 6 bounce decks, assuming we count the deck we're going to talk about last in this video as a bounce deck. I've got 6 bounce decks built right now, and I love them so very much. I think it's one of the most fun things you can do in Marvel Snap right now, and it's extremely, extremely powerful. All right, this needs all the high series cards. It needs Darkhawk, it needs Zabu, it needs Annihilus, and it needs Werewolf. Sorry, I know that makes this deck really expensive. There are plenty of versions of Bounce that don't run Annihilus or Zabu. They basically all run Darkhawk and Werewolf right now, though. All the best versions, anyway. You can run the move Bounce that doesn't run Darkhawk, it just runs Werewolf. But Werewolf is one of the 5 best cards in Snap right now, and Werewolf is a must-buy. I do a review, like tomorrow's video will have a pro tip and a review of a last day review of Annihilus, where I tell you, like, oh my god, it's been a week, you must get this card, or okay, so you can afford to wait until the next time it's in Spotlight Caches. Werewolf, I went on the last day, I was like, I think this might be better than Annihilus, and like a month later, I think this might be better, not, excuse me, I think this might be better than Alioth, and a month later, I think Werewolf still might be better than Alioth. So hopefully some of you listen to me and on the last day grab that Werewolf, because he's like stellar. Nico is the one high series card that can change here. Nico's fundamentally always replaceable, as good as she is. Just replace her with Iceman, have the extra disruption, you'll be fine. If you would like, you can also try Forge. Forge is also very good. All right, turn by turn snapping. So number 5 player, 62% win rate. Korg over Hood, generally early. Zabu over Widow, generally early. Turn 3, Werewolf is basically always my priority. Sometimes you can drop Sentry because Zabu, that's pretty damn good. And if you can't do those things, you just drop some ones. I very, very rarely want to Beast there, but if I went Korg, Hood, and Nico, I could conceivably Falcon there. Turn 4 is generally bounce some ones to move Werewolf around or just drop Sentry. Turn 5 is where you play Annihilus if you're going to play it. I very rarely Annihilus on turn 6 in this deck, although I have Annihilus and Demon on the last turn of the game. And turn 6, your general goal is fill the board as much as humanly possible. Drop all your stuff. And sometimes all your stuff just means like Shang-Chi and then Darkhawk, right? Like do some math, figure out what to do. But one of the beautiful things about Shang-Chi is Shang-Chi takes one of their big things off the board. But then if they have a bunch of like 8s and 9s there, which is a thing I've found happening more and more since the Shang change, the werewolf jumps over it like a 17. It's like I still win that lane, thank you though, which is pretty nice. And then Darkhawk can usually handle another variant look. We've got Korg hip, Widow hip, Zebu hip, Falcon hip, Beast hip, Annihilus hip. 6 hip deck, you love to see it. We've got only one Noir variant, that is the Hood, but it goes very well with our really cool Werewolf by Night, the best current variant, and our Midnight Suns. We've got the Sentry, that's the only Sentry I have, and probably my favorite Sentry. And I got this lovely Shang-Chi, the Peach Moko Shang-Chi, with a gold background. I decided to throw this Darkhawk in because it's standing next to Beast, and I like that they're like now dancing. Cool. That's the variants for this deck. All right, new schedule. This is a major announcement. This changes our understanding of the game over the next month, at least changes my understanding of the game over the next month. There are no OTAs until 2024 planned. They are not doing weekly updates to Marvel Snap. The patch that we thought was coming this coming Tuesday is in fact coming 12/5. That's the Tuesday after. And the 1.9 patch is the next update after that. There's not an OTA like as far as we know, the week of 1/2, 1/1/1/2. They won't really be in the office. So 1.9 is patched, and then as far as we know, we go back to our standard schedule. And let me just tell you, people are losing their minds. People are like, the meta will be stale. There will be nothing happening in Snap. And like, maybe that's true, but it's also possible that the 12/5 patch, and I'm hoping that this is true, shakes up enough that it takes some time to really settle things. And that if it makes new card acquisition enough easier, that things like Firestar and Celine will shake up the meta in a way that wasn't happening otherwise. Also worth noting about both of these patches is that this is a monthly update schedule. One, that's what we basically had for the beginning of Marvel Snap. We had a 1 monthly update, and that's also the model most other games, at least to the best of my knowledge, operate under. We are spoiled for change. We are spoiled for new content in Marvel Snap. This is them slowing down for a month. I'm not going to enjoy it. I fully crave novelty. I think it's actually going to make finding 3 new decks a day significantly harder. In general, I might have to go to 2 for a while until they start updating a lot again, at least toward the end of the month. Whatever, that's perfectly fine. You're still not getting 2 brand new decks anywhere else in the Snap community. But I think things will get stale for like the complete Snap addicts. But for everyone else, um, look at my last 2 weeks of videos, right? I've got like an extra 9 decks that I just don't have time to make videos for. There's so much that happens in Marvel Snap. Every new card is like 1,000 new decks. Every new card is like 3 new packages. Um, Packages come and go as the meta shifts, right? Is Man Thing really good right now? I don't know. Are you seeing a lot of Luke Cage? All of a sudden, Abomination became a real card. Didn't have that on my bingo card, right? Like there's a lot of really interesting things happening. It's not basically all the time. I think we'll be fine for a month, assuming the 12/5 patch is big enough. I think we do need a shakeup from where we are right now. Missing Thanksgiving, then missing next week. And I'd assume the reason that we're skipping the patch this coming week is that because they were out of the office for Thanksgiving, it's not ready yet. And they want to do something big for the end of the year. Again, if that's the case, I'm okay with this. I think this works. That's not the case. I will be back here going, this sucks. We need new stuff. But I don't think that's going to happen. I would assume that that last week of January gets a little dry. But like, sorry, the week of Christmas into January gets a little dry. But like, let's see. Let's see. Let's not assume that entirely. Juno 2 She-Hulks. I love this deck. I love this deck so much. Safety tried it and immediately plays Dakin with America, just in case you don't have Dakin. But basically, this deck is about doubling either Demon, She-Hulk, or Death, or some combination thereof. You've got Killmonger to make it happen. You've got Moon Girl to get your doubles up. And then you've got just bonuses for killing all your stuff. That's it. That's the deck. It's so sick. I can't believe how powerful this is. I sent this to our friend Prashan. If you want to check out Prashan on Twitch the other day, check out Juno on Twitch. Obviously, Juno made the deck and got an infinity ticket with it. But if you want to check out our friend Prashan, Prashan was like, "Oh, this is powerful." Yeah, it's powerful. If you can double up, so like if you can go Forge into Dakin, and then you can get She-Hulk going with Moon Girl, or Hood going with Moon Girl and Dakin, right? Like you're making a 20 power Dakin, and then you've got 12 power of Hood or 20 power of She-Hulk drop. Just it's sick. It's completely sick. If you don't really try to double She-Hulk and Death, or at least I found that you didn't really want to try and double both of them, because generally speaking, if you're trying to double Death, you kind of want a Moon Girl on 5, so you have the extra turns to destroy a bunch of shit. Like you can bounce Yondu, play Yondu twice, bounce Carnage, play Carnage twice, and that's sort of how you get there, or Killmonger can just get you there. But if you've got 24 power of Death, and then like anything else worthwhile to do at the end of the game, you just win. And your opponent can't really do. Stacking can be Gladiator or Werewolf or Bishop or America Chavez. Nico is totally fine as Nova here, at least in my experience. Nico can sort of be replaced by anything. Maybe Nico can be America too. I'd rather have the extra one to kill though, and I feel like if I'm going to kill my one, I'd like to get some benefit from it. So Nova, Iceman, anything like that. I do think you really, really need X-23. X-23 is very strong here. X-23 giving you something that A, you can repeatedly kill, B, is super cheap, and C, lets you ramp out cards, is all just really great stuff. Cool. Turn by turn and snapping. Make sure you follow Juno on Twitch. X-23, better than Yandu, better than Hood at the start. If you're able to dump your hand and you know you can get Demon into one of those first two slots, move Hood up the choice board. Carnage or Forge next. Forge is better if Dakin, otherwise I like to get some kill on. I can always bounce with Beast. Turn 3, Dakin is my general preference. You can also Beast, you can also just drop more cheap stuff. If you played a bunch of ones, Carnage or Killmonger is fine here. Turn 4, Moon Girl or Beast. As you get set up, turn 5, you want to pass for She-Hulk, or play a bunch of ones in Killmonger for Death. You can also, again, drop Moon Girl on 5 and flip the Killmonger Death thing to 4 as necessary. And turn 6, double She-Hulk or double Death or double Demon. And enjoy. Enjoy the wins. Enjoy the power. I don't know if this counts as a bounce deck. It's got Beast in it. It's really more of a Moon Girl deck. So this is either my 5th or 6th bounce deck. So make sure you check it out. Let's do some quick variant talk. We've got X-Force Forge. We talked about most of these. I'm using my Rion X-23 because, shit, it's gorgeous. We've got a hip in Yondu, a hip in Killmonger, and a hip in Beast. I'd like more, but it's fine. What are you going to do? She-Hulk is great. I love Midnight Sun's Death, and I like Midnight Sun's Death, especially when I'm running Midnight Sun's Nico. Excuse me, I forgot one extra hip. We've got Dakin hip. And finally, this is the Twitch drop Moon Girl. It's fine. I have this in the Halloween Moon Girl. They're both perfectly cromulent. And lastly, the Jacinto Carnage that I prefer to use with Venom, but I don't have another Carnage. I do have another Venom. Like, so when I get another Carnage, when Carnage is alone, I'll run a different Carnage. Cool. That's the variants for this deck. Finally, we have Friday Shop. Friday Shop, I bought 2 variants. I finally have a Lizard variant, putting yet 8 cards in all of Marvel Snap that need variants, because I already told you. Today I bought ANNIHILUS hip. So there are 8 cards in all of Marvel Snap I need variants for. I also bought Viper, even though I have a Viper variant, because I just kind of like the Secret Wars one better than the one I have. So now I have 2 Vipers, whatever. Fine. I don't care about this debris. I have a hip. I have the Peach Psylocke, and eventually I'll get the hip. I'm not spending on pixels. I'm not spending on pixels for Hood. I'm not spending on pixels for Moon Knight. This Electro is fine. I don't like the Ultimate Universe really, so I don't care for it. I want my Electro to look like Electro, and I have the green bald one. So that one feels more like Electro to me. Finally, the Peach Momoko Thor is beautiful, but it is 1200 gold, and I have three other Thors. I have the cool one they gave us. Was this Conquest? I feel like this was Conquest a couple months ago, maybe last month, with the big gold beard. That is that a beard? I guess that's not a beard. I don't like that one's face. Whatever. The top one's face isn't to my liking, but the actual art is gorgeous and the animation is gorgeous. I've also got Baby Thor chasing what looks like, I don't know, kitty or squirrel Loki, and it's completely adorable. I love it. I used it for a little bit, but not for long, because this past summer, while I was on vacation, I bought Throg, and I love Throg. I can't imagine myself really using another Thor. It's my favorite Thor. I'm running the little froggy boy. I'm perfectly happy. Sorry, Peach Thor. Next up, we have today's variants. I know I said I want a Carnage, but I don't want this Carnage for 1200. Sorry. Um, I still may buy this Gamora. I have the White Guardians Gamora. I don't really love either of them. Though is the real problem. Like this Gamora is fine, but I don't love it. I just like it. I bought the Hip ANNIHILUS, obviously. We'll talk about Ant-Man in a minute. Black Bolt is one of the last 8 cards I need a variant for, but by the end of this month, the Hip Black Bolt is coming out, and I am buying that. We've talked about Doom. I have Emperor and Baby Doom. I don't need another. Although there is a really great Doom in a bundle coming out that I probably can't resist. No pixels for Quinjet. J. Scott Campbell Psylocke is really, really good. It actually looks like Jim Lee art, but it's J. Scott Campbell. Um, I have the Peach Momoko one that they just gave us this month, so I don't need to spend gold on this. And also, there's a hip that I'd really like, so eventually I will have that as well. And Ant-Man is a card I have 5 freaking variants for, which I didn't realize until I looked. So I used the baby one for a while because it's really cute. And I don't really love the steampunk, but it's fine. I don't know why. I just think I don't like the fly really. That's sorry, ant. I guess it's an ant, but like it doesn't look like an ant. Um, I really, really love the top middle one. I used it for ages. It's Roy got it early. My co-host of Snap Judgments got it early, and I was always jealous of it. And when I finally opened it randomly, I was like, "Ooh, yoink!" and used it for ages. And then I pulled the bullet one, and I'm literally torn because I like the bullet one a lot. And then like last week in some random box, I got the hip, and now I'm just using the hip. I like still use the shrinking on the fly one thing once in a while, but the hip is pretty freaking great and makes me happy. I have a lot of good Ant-Man variants, is basically what I'm telling you, so I don't need the one that's in the shop for 1200. But Ant-Man and I believe Black Widow are the 2 cards I have the most variants of. I'll actually recount that at some point soon to double check, because I think I have 4 or 5 enchantresses too and a bunch of magics and stuff. All right. That's today's video. Don't forget to sub. Don't forget to comment. Ring that notification bell. Don't forget your comments on this very video can win you a bundle of the whatever shop. I said I was going to reveal it Wednesday. That's not going to work. The bundle will be gone by then. I guess I'm just going to reveal it in Monday's video. Don't forget to watch Monday's video. I'm hoping to cover the major tournament that's happening this weekend in that video. I'll hopefully go over some of the best decks and stuff like that. So we'll talk more then. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you win a bundle from me. Peace.